Return of the college football video game 2024, we think, except for the fact that the Players Association, which isn't really a thing, but they're trying to be a thing, I think. You've got a group that is trying to unionize the college football players and collectively bargain with EA Sports for the amount of money that they think that the players should be getting for being in the video game. Justin Falcinelli helped build one of the top college football programs of the 2010s. He was Clemson's starting center for 2 years, and he left with 2 national titles. But securing the program's success had him wanting a piece of the revenue he generated, while Davos Sweeney signed a 10-year contract worth $115 million. When NIL policy rolled in 2021, it was viewed as a victory, and for the first time in college sports history, athletes were turning a profit. I don't know about turning a profit, but were being compensated. EA Sports announced last month that players would be paid for their NIL to be used in the college football video game slated to return next year. EA has contracted one-team partners to facilitate college athletes' likeness. A source told On3 that the cash pool for the athletes was in the neighborhood of $5 million, which would equate to about $500 per player. Sportico, which is a business of college sports website, has reported that there are no royalties. So this is not a recurring thing. It's a one-time payment. For Falcinelli, he is vice president of the College Football Players Association. He says that's not enough. The organization tried to establish its first chapter at Penn State last summer, tried being the operative word, and the College Football Players Association is urging athletes to boycott the game with the hope that EA Sports will reconsider its payout to athletes. Let me give you his quote, and then we'll see what you think about this. All current players should boycott this deal. It is an opt-in deal, and they should not opt into it. It is just a ridiculously low amount of money. Given the context and the hype that surrounds this game, when we first heard the number, we're like, all right, that sounds low. Let's go figure out if it's low. I started talking to guys, talked to some of my friends, some of the guys who are still playing in the NFL. So what are NFL players getting for Madden? And the numbers we were given were for 2019. It was disclosed that they got about $17,000. And then a current NFL player said he got a check for $28,000 this year for Madden. And they are offering college players $500 for the video game. What say you, boys?
I mean, it's what? 45 players on an NFL roster times 32 teams versus 85 players on a roster times 125 teams. I mean, 130. Yeah, let's do a little math there, boys. You know, we're supposed to be student athletes. Let's do some math here and understand why you can't get $17,000 per. At the end of the day, if you choose not to opt in, they're just going to create a generic player, and you won't be on the game. And, you know, I saw a great tweet today, by the way, that just said, I just want to play the dynasty mode anyway. All of those guys will be gone in 3 years.
Right.
Which in video game time is what? A month? 2 months?
Less for most people.
Yeah. I mean, when that game comes out, I'm going to be playing it, 3-4 hours a day. So, yeah, I'll be through the first couple of seasons in the first couple of weeks.
Yeah. This is this will be a huge backfire.
Hold on a second. You have 4 hours a day where you could allot to video games for
Easily.
2 solid weeks?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just
jealous?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe a little.
I mean, my kids take care of themselves at this point. I don't have to do a whole lot. I just got to, be there if they have a question.
So this is during the day. This isn't like stay up late after they go to bed. You stay up until,
No, my PS5's
in
in our bedroom, so no, I can't do that. No.
Okay. All right.
This will backfire for a lot of reasons. One, as Haydad mentioned, there's roughly 11,000 FBS football players, roughly. There's 1,500 NFL players on active rosters during the season. And those 1,500 players are significantly more valuable than the 11,000. The NFL is an $11 billion a year business with a tenth of the players. So that right there is a problem in and of itself, because you are not valuable like any NFL player is. So good luck. And number two, as Haydad pointed out, the NFL Players Association is who negotiates with Madden, because they only represent 1,500 players. It's a little bit easier, and also they're salaried employees and stuff, and they're able to do that. So that's how they have a little bit of leverage. The college football video game sold brilliantly without using a single player's name. If, let's say, Caleb Williams decides, 500's not enough, even though the exposure would be unbelievable, I'm out. You know how many sales that would impact on that game? 0. And here's why. Because you can create players in the freaking game. Give it a day, and the rosters of the teams would be uploaded online for you to download anyway. You can play as the players anyway. So if Caleb Williams, and I'm just using that as an example, I don't think he's commented publicly on this. If he has, forgive me. But if he decided to opt out, in a day, you could play as Caleb Williams anyway. In a day.
Not to mention that Caleb Williams won't be on this game. It's next year.
Right.
It's 2024. He won't be on the game.
But so
Drake May might.
Yeah. It's such a great opportunity for exposure. It's impossible to assign individual value on 11,000 players. The blanket dollar amount makes sense. The exposure is great. Mike Wright at Mississippi State said, I'll do it for 20. Give me $20. I just want to play as myself. He's got the right perspective. The people that hold out of this will get nothing, and nobody will notice.